Have you been practicing scales for years trying to get faster, but have no idea when to actually use that speed in a solo? In a decade of teaching stuck intermediates, I've seen one thing trip them up over and over. They're just not sure about when or how to make speed actually work in a solo. But this lick from Van Halen's Jump can show you how to use speed to sound impressive no matter how fast you play. So today I'm slowing this lick right down and walking you through Van Halen's 4-step jump formula for using speed in solos even if you're not a shredder. And as a special treat today, we're going all in on 1980s references. For most guitarists on my intermediate program, I found that their fast playing all blurs together. But how do legends like Van Halen make speed sound explosive? Let's listen to the lead in to that fast part. Speed is exciting for most people when it contrasts with everything around it and is put at climactic peaks. Now Van Halen used to do some crazy shit when he played. But in his solos, he mostly showed restraint. To make his solos sound melodic, like a singer, he would put breaths in between the phrases. If we lay out the solo bar by bar, it moves between relatively slow, fast, and faster parts. And he ramps up to the maximum speed right at the end. And this is what makes it epic. It creates this beautiful, melodic, and rhythmic movement. It's not all fast or all slow, and the speed moves around in a logical way. Now, classical composers figured out the power of mixing fast and slow hundreds of years ago. And the epic speed burst is used in the climax for the classic solos of Living on a Prayer and Hold the Line. But it's like the crane kick. Daniel's son doesn't run around knocking everyone out with bloody crane kicks. He saves it for the moment. And that's why he's the best around. Here's how you apply this. Think of your solo like a story. You build tension with melodic phrases, then release it right at the end with one epic fast run. You don't have to play fast the whole time, just the last final 3 to 5 seconds at the peak moment. And that's the whoa moment. Even 4 of your fastest notes will give some contrast. But here's where it gets interesting. The notes Eddie plays in the fast run aren't even the right scale. And that's exactly why it works. Are you ready for a plot twist? What if I told you the wrong notes are actually the secret sauce? Now for most of you, you've learned some scales. You see this solo, which is in B flat minor, so you play the B flat minor scale, right? But why the hell does Van Halen play this scale instead? Some of those notes aren't even in the right key. Why does it sound so damn good? The secret is Van Halen isn't just sticking to the correct notes, he's sneaking in extra notes between the usual ones. These are called chromatic passing notes. And when you play them so fast, your ear doesn't hear each note separately. Instead, you get this rush of energy and movement that makes the whole lick pop. Now, it's possible he's just using this scale because that's where his fingers feel comfortable, but it still works. It's like Ferris Bueller ditching school. If he just followed the rules and went to class, we'd have no movie. The wrong choices, taking the Ferrari, crashing the parade, flat out bullying that poor Cameron. Those rule-breaking moments are what makes it legendary. And the same with chromatic notes in your solo. And this is how you can do it. Take any scale shape you know and practice adding one note next to a note you're already playing. So for example, on the G string, I could add this note as it's right next to a note that I'm already playing. On the B string, I'm playing 5, 6, 8. A great way to get started for this for intermediates is just resolving to the root note. We certainly don't want to linger on one of these chromatic passing notes. It's going to sound pretty nasty over the chord. When you do this, you'll feel the tension and excitement build. Your solos will go from being predictable to the audience being subtly surprised by all these unexpected twists. Often it's not what notes you're playing, but when you play them that makes it work. So let's unlock that next. There's a hidden attention-grabbing rhythm trick inside this lick, which makes it impressive. Most guitarists practice their fast licks using 16th notes, 4 notes per beat. So you're playing 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and... But these are the types of rhythms that are most common in popular music post-1970. So our ears have kind of got used to it. But what makes Eddie's run in Jump so attention-grabbing? He uses sextuplets, 6 notes a beat. Most intermediates struggle with sextuplets, and they struggle to connect them to the beat. But that's exactly why they work. Triplets break the pattern and make the listener sit up and take notice. It's like you're playing with the beat but also competing with the beat at the same time. It's mesmerizing. It's like Footloose. If everyone danced at the same tempo the whole time, boring. But when Kevin Bacon changes the rhythm, speeds it up, slows it down, does this thing, suddenly everyone's watching. And that's what sextuplets do in a world of 16th notes. This is how you can bring sextuplet magic to your playing. Now you need to practice it. So let's look at Van Halen's lick. This is a great lick to practice sextuplets on. So if the metronome's going click, click, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, and eventually, it sounds a bit like Mouse running up the stairs. But still good. And next time you're soloing in your run, throw one of these rhythms. But there's one more trick that makes this lick not just epic, but actually playable, even if you don't have Eddie's picking hand. Now, if you think you need lightning fast picking, here's the trick that makes speed licks actually doable. Now, you've probably seen YouTube channels obsess over picking technique, alternate picking, sweep picking, chicken picking, hybrid picking, and you might think, well, I'll never be able to play those runs unless I can pick at warp speed. But you don't have to. Eddie used hammer-ons for this fast run. In music, we call these smooth techniques legato. I love saying that, legato. Legato just means you play the note smoothly, so hammer-ons, pull-offs, and slides, instead of picking every note. Most intermediates get a better result playing legato than picking, and it sounds even smoother and more connected. It's like the Terminator. Arnold doesn't just reload after every single shot. He's efficient, smooth, unstoppable. It's the same with your legato. Why pick every note when you could be twice as efficient with hammer-ons? If you've been playing for 5 years or more, you certainly have experience playing hammer-ons and pull-offs. But where I see students in my intermediate program struggle is where the notes aren't even. You get this effect where the first note is louder than the others, so it kind of trails off. So for your step-by-step practice plan, really focus on that evenness with the metronome like we did before. And with enough practice, you'll get it. And then you'll be able to pull off epic solo licks. So that was Van Halen's 4-step speed strategy. And here's a breakdown of the solo. And if you want some tips on soloing that most intermediates don't even know about, I'd watch this video next.